In episode 6 of the Netflix show Outer Banks, titled My Druthers, the Pogues face new challenges as they try to uncover the mystery of the gold and the cross of Santo Domingo. Here's a summary of what happens. The episode opens with a flashback to Ward's past, revealing more about his relationship with Limbri and the events that led to the disappearance of the royal merchant. In the present day, Ward is still trying to keep his secrets hidden, but he's being threatened by Limbri and her associates. Meanwhile, the Pogues are still searching for the gold and their missing friends, but they're also dealing with personal issues and conflicts. Kiara is frustrated by the group's lack of progress, and she's considering leaving the Pogues and returning to her privileged life. Pope is struggling with the pressure of his academic responsibilities and his loyalty to his friends. The Pogues discover that Limbri is hosting a charity auction to raise money for her organization, and they believe that the cross of Santo Domingo may be on display there. They hatch a plan to attend the auction and steal the cross, but they're also being pursued by Topper and his new girlfriend, who are trying to find out what they're up to. The Pogues attend the auction, and they manage to steal the cross with the help of some unexpected allies. However, their victory is short-lived when they discover that the cross is a fake, and Limbri has the real cross in her possession. The episode ends with the Pogues regrouping and planning their next move. They're determined to keep fighting, even if it means facing their darkest fears and secrets. In episode 7 of the Netflix show Outer Banks, titled The Bonfire, the Pogues continue their search for the gold and the cross of Santo Domingo, and tensions rise as secrets are revealed and loyalties are tested. Here's a summary of what happens. The episode opens with a flashback to the early days of the Outer Banks, revealing more about the history of the island and the conflicts between the different groups of residents. In the present day, the Pogues are dealing with their own conflicts and secrets. John B. and Sarah are still trying to track down the gold and the cross of Santo Domingo, but they're running out of leads. They turn to an unlikely source for help, Rafe, who may know more than he's letting on about the location of the gold. Meanwhile, Kiara is still considering leaving the Pogues, but her decision is complicated by her growing feelings for Pope. She confides in him about her doubts, and they share a moment of intimacy. The Pogues decide to hold a bonfire on the beach to celebrate their friendship and honor their missing friends. During the bonfire, tensions rise as secrets are revealed and loyalties are tested. JJ learns the truth about what happened to his father, and he confronts his mother about her role in his death. Kiara decides to stay with the Pogues, but her relationship with Pope is tested when she learns that he knew about the gold before the rest of the group. The episode ends with the Pogues receiving a new lead on the location of the gold. They're determined to find it, no matter what the cost. In episode 8 of the Netflix show Outer Banks, titled The Cross, the Pogues make a daring move to recover the cross of Santo Domingo, but their plan goes awry, and they're forced to improvise. Here's a summary of what happens. The episode opens with the Pogues preparing to execute their plan to recover the cross of Santo Domingo from Limbri's yacht. John B. and Sarah sneak onto the yacht, while the rest of the Pogues provide backup from the shore. However, their plan goes awry when Limbri shows up unexpectedly and catches them in the act. John B. and Sarah are forced to improvise and hide on the yacht, while the rest of the Pogues try to distract Limbri and her associates. Kiara and Pope distract Topper by staging a fake breakup, while JJ and Cleo try to get the attention of the Coast Guard. On the yacht, John B. and Sarah discover that the cross is not what they expected. It's actually a key that can unlock the location of the gold. They also find a letter from Ward that reveals the truth about his involvement in the royal merchant's disappearance. As the Pogues try to escape the yacht, they're confronted by Limbri and her associates. A chase ensues, and the Pogues are forced to split up. John B. and Sarah escape on a jet ski, while the rest of the group is left behind. The episode ends with the Pogues regrouping and reflecting on their next move. They have a new lead on the location of the gold, but they also have to deal with the fallout from their failed mission. Kiara and Pope try to sort out their feelings for each other, while John B. and Sarah plan their next move. Meanwhile, Ward is confronted by Rafe, who has learned the truth about his father's death. In episode 9 of the Netflix show Outer Banks, titled Trapped, the Pogues find themselves in a dangerous situation when they get trapped in a well while searching for the gold. Here's a summary of what happens. The episode opens with the Pogues regrouping after their failed attempt to steal the cross of Santo Domingo. They're determined to keep searching for the gold, but they're running out of options. Sarah suggests that they look for a well that may be connected to the royal merchant's treasure, and the group sets out to find it. As they search for the well, tensions rise within the group. John B. is still struggling with his guilt over what happened to his father, and he snaps at Sarah when she tries to comfort him. Meanwhile, Kiara and Pope's relationship continues to develop, but Kiara is still hesitant to fully commit. When the Pogues finally find the well, they discover that it's been sealed off by the Cameron family. They manage to break through the barrier and climb down the well, but they soon realize that they're trapped. The well is too narrow for them to climb back up, and there's no other way out. As they wait for help, the Pogues are forced to confront their fears and secrets. JJ reveals the truth about his father's death to Kiara, and she shares her own struggles with her father. John B. finally opens up to Sarah about his guilt, and they reconcile. When it becomes clear that help isn't coming, the Pogues come up with a desperate plan to escape. They use a makeshift raft to float up to the surface, but their plan goes awry when the raft starts to leak. Just as they're about to drown, they're rescued by a mysterious figure in a boat. The episode ends with the Pogues realizing that the figure who rescued them is none other than Ward. He claims that he's turned over a new leaf and wants to help them find the gold, but the Pogues remain skeptical. They're not sure if they can trust him, and they know that their search for the treasure is far from over. In episode 10 of the Netflix show Outer Banks, titled The Coastal Venture, the Pogues embark on a dangerous mission to recover the gold from the royal merchant. Here's a summary of what happens. The episode opens with the Pogues setting out on the Coastal Venture, a boat owned by Ward that they're using to search for the royal merchant's gold. They're joined by Ward, who claims to want to help them recover the treasure. However, they're still skeptical of his motives. As they sail towards their destination, tensions rise between the Pogues. Kiara is angry at Pope for telling JJ about her father, and John B. is still struggling with his guilt over his father's death. Meanwhile, Ward tries to ingratiate himself with the group, but they're wary of him. When they arrive at their destination, the Pogues realize that they're not alone. Limbri and her associates are also searching for the gold, and a dangerous confrontation ensues. In the chaos, Ward reveals that he's made a deal with Limbri to turn the Pogues over in exchange for his own safety. The Pogues are forced to fight for their lives, and they manage to escape with the gold. However, they're pursued by Limbri and her associates, and a chase ensues. The Pogues are eventually able to shake their pursuers, and they celebrate their victory on the boat. As they sail back to shore, the Pogues are confronted by a new threat. The boat is suddenly boarded by the U.S. Coast Guard, who are searching for the gold. The Pogues are forced to hide the treasure and come up with a plan to avoid being caught. The episode ends with the Pogues devising a plan to transport the gold off the boat without being detected by the Coast Guard. They know that their journey is far from over, but they're determined to see it through to the end.